Hi there, Sherry. How you doing?
I'm fantastic today. How are you?
I am great. I'm so excited that you're here and joining me and my audience on the benefits of castor oil, and how it can really help assist our bodies and help us just get through other modalities than just trying to mask everything with prescription drugs. So let me just introduce you. Sherri McKnight is a natural healthcare practitioner, having earned her classical training as a homeopath with the Canadian College of Homeopathic Medicine. She has been in practice treating patients for over 10 years from the small town of Elora, Ontario. So that's pretty awesome. So why don't we start? I have lots of questions for you, and I really want to make sure we get as many answers and kind of all about castor oil and the benefits to everybody as much as we can here. So tell me a little bit about your story. How did you start, I guess, being a natural healthcare practitioner? And then how did you ultimately end up working with Queen of the Thrones?
Yeah, sure. Great question. Kind of born and raised in the country, living and working with horses, with thoroughbreds. And my dream was to work with horses as a young girl. And so I did. I pursued my dreams and became a veterinary assistant. And I wanted to be a doctor of veterinary medicine. And then it got too emotional for me, the attachment that I had for these animals, that these beings that couldn't like communicate. I couldn't communicate at the time with them. They couldn't speak to me or tell me, this is, you're doing it wrong, or whatever. So I left that field and I went into homeopathic medicine, because I wanted to help people and treat people, because the people around me in my family, like my father, he's got some health issues, and my mom, and I wanted to be able to help them as they aged, and then expand and then help others with natural medicines. So I jumped to homeopathic medicine, and in my practices there was castor oil packs that did come up, but as with many other natural healthcare practitioners and functional medicine doctors, prescribing them was easy, but doing them is very, very difficult. And it can be very messy. It can be stressful, because the old traditional way is just that. It's 12 steps, it's messy. And then, prescribing this practice in today's modern world, it doesn't fit. So then I got to know Dr. Marisol. She's the founder of Queen of the Thrones. And then I started working with the company, and I speak about castor oil packs every day now. And I get the most amazing feedback from practitioners and influencers and all sorts of people who are putting this practice in practice. And it's a blessing. And I get to sit here and speak with you and your audience too. So that's my story in a short version.
The short version, right? That's awesome. What is your specific role with Queen of the Thrones?
So I'm the medical advisor. And so being a homeopathic doctor, I teach other practitioners, other doctors, influencers, about how to speak about castor oil packs, the protocols that can be used. There's various ways to use them. We do have different packs. So just teaching them about the products that we have, why ours is ultimately the best on the market, and all the health aspects, how to use them. And I do a lot of lives like here with you with podcasts, and I do Instagram lives and just speak to other practitioners, listen to them, and then share stories and just teach.
That's fantastic. I think that the chronic illness community is always looking to, help with other alternatives to help support anything that they can from the inside out. And I don't even know how I came across Queen of Thrones, probably a little, maybe less than a year ago. And it was something, because trying to support myself all the time is okay. Yeah, I'll try that. Okay, I'll try that. If it says that
Yes.
it can help, then I've done it. I've ordered it. But this was something that stuck out to me, and it really did help. One of my biggest issues, because I've had 6 abdominal surgeries, was I have gastroparesis, IBS, just a lot of stomach issues. So I wasn't moving my bowels. I'm very, very constipated, but this helped me, and it was something I could put on at night, and I didn't have to like worry about it throughout the day. It was something just kind of easy to do, and it took seconds to apply to the, put the oil on the pack, put the pack on your body, and go to sleep. So it wasn't something crazy that took a long time, but it definitely assisted with that, and I became a quick lover of the product. And I think at the time, only the actual packets, the liver pack itself, was available, but I've noticed now that the company kind of has grown with their products. And I have yet to try, there's an eye mask, right?
Yes. Ooh, that's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me a little bit about that. So what does that do, or how does that help?
Oh, so it's the eye compress, and it has so many amazing benefits. So a little personal story about myself with castor oil and then the eye compress is when I first started using castor oil myself, I used it for hair growth. I wanted my hair to get fuller because I was super stressed through college and things and life and kids and, exes, and my hair was falling out. So it was thinning. And that's how I came across castor oil. So I was applying it to my scalp. I didn't even know that you shouldn't have it in plastic, which is super important, which we'll talk about, I'm sure. And then it's also great for stretch marks and for wrinkles. And I had super deep 11 wrinkles between my eyebrows. So I would apply the castor oil between my eyebrows, which was great. And it gave me very quick results. Like 3 days, my family was like, seriously? Are they getting like less and less every day? And then on top of that, you can add the eye compress so that you can sleep with the oil on, which is even better, and not mess up your bedding. And I think the best thing for myself with the eye compress is it's very light colored, like the colors of the other packs, like the liver pack. And it allows the natural light to stimulate cortisol in the morning, which is very dissimilar to like regular eye masks, which are very dark and they're like blacked out. So when you wake up in the morning, if you do, it could be noon. Like, how do you know what time it is? And then you take your black mask off and it's like, what time is it? Where am I? And why am I still tired? Because your body wasn't allowed to naturally wake and naturally stimulate that cortisol in the morning. So I think that's my favorite part about the eye compress, on top of the fact that it helps with styes and allergies, and there's so many benefits.
Wow. And I know one of the lives that I seen on Instagram was to kind of help with like your eyelashes and your eyebrow growth. I mean, that is like something that women are like, yes, we still need, we want all those nice thick eyebrows, and your eyelashes are, I'm always applying so much mascara. I'm like, I need the bushy eyelashes. So that is on my next order, is definitely the eye mask. So before I forget, let's talk about just how important it is to keep the castor oil in a glass bottle, and then also in a dark glass, right?
Yes, an amber colored glass bottle is very important. There are a lot of castor oils out there that may be good quality before they put it in plastic, but once it's in the plastic, castor oil is a carrier oil. So it will pull all the chemicals and the toxins into the oil. And then when you're going to apply that to the body, that's the total opposite of what we're wanting to do. So if it's in glass and it's in an amber color and it's hexane free, chemical free, extra virgin, that you want the best for your body, because, well, that's what we want, right? We want health, and we want to reduce symptoms, remove symptoms, not add fuel to the fire. So that's why it's very important.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's talk about then a little bit about if somebody's just learning about castor oil, what can you tell them? Like, castor oil has been used for forever. It's been hundreds of years. And I know that you can apply castor oil with your hands, but it's very sticky. It tends to become very sticky. And I've read that you can use like an old flannel shirt and kind of wrap it around you, but it does get messy. So with Queen of the Thrones, they have a nice pack that you just apply the oil right onto this. I guess how would you describe it? Like a
It's
like
a it's
what's
like a large bean shaped pack, and
okay.
it was scientifically developed with multiple layers of organic cotton, Sherpa cotton, and so it has a specific weight. So it's a very soft, organic, unbleached cotton. That's the part that you put on your skin, and then on the outer layer is a non-toxic PUL material. So that helps it keep the mess in. And then it's stitched all around the bean shape of the pack, of the liver pack, which is the one that it kind of goes inwards, as you know, like when you place it on the right side of your body, half of it's on your back, the other half is on your front, and then that kind of indentation goes around your waist. And then it has super long, very stretchy, very flexible, soft straps that tie around your body.
That was one thing when I got it. I'm a very particular sleeper. So when I'm like, oh, are these straps going to bother me? And I was pleasantly surprised because I wrapped it around, one time. I'm fairly tiny. And so I, tied it in the front, but they are very nice and stretchy. And I'm a stomach and side sleeper and I don't feel them at all. So they're very easy to fall asleep with. They don't dig into you like if you're thinking that it's going to be uncomfortable. It's not. I am such a light sleeper. And it is very easy to sleep with. I do sleep in a tighter fitting tank top to just keep it kind of close to my body. So it doesn't, if it, tends to move, or if you're a mover at night, or, a restless sleeper. And then I know that with castor oil, you just got to be careful too. Sometimes if it can stain, right? So but why does castor oil, what is in castor oil that makes it stain?
It's sticky
Oil?
and it's made up of the omegas, and it also has a ricinoleic acid in it. Now the reason why it stains, I'm not 100% sure as like the actual staining part. Perhaps because it is so like viscous and thick. And I personally I'm always in castor oil because that's what I do. I live and breathe castor oil right now. And I haven't really noticed anything, my sheets or my clothing staining, but like you, I wear like a tight fitting, like a tank top sort of a thing when I'm wearing my castor oil pack to bed, because I can sleep sound or I can sleep the absolute opposite, just thrash all around.
Right.
So it's the ricinoleic acid that's the main component in the oil. I'm not sure though. That's a good question. I should figure that out. What actually makes it stain?
But this particular pack helps with not having it stain and messy and kind of get all over. I know there's so many, but what are the benefits of castor oil?
Yeah, so castor oil is half of the practice. So the other half is the pack, essentially. So you have the oil and all the healing benefits, the anti-inflammatory benefits of the oil, and then you have the compression of the pack. So I like to use the example of, say you're walking in your kitchen and you stub your toe. The very first thing you do is you grab your toe and you press it, or you might bang your head on a shelf. The first thing we do is we grab where we hurt ourselves and press it. So we know that pressure and compression therapy it makes us feel better. So when we add the compression of the pack on, it's like an instant feel good, because it actually stimulates dopamine and oxytocin, which are feel good hormones. So the moment we place that pack on, it's like, oh, I feel so much better. And then when you have the other 50%, which is the oil, doing its job, which is the anti-inflammatory. And like I said before, the ricinoleic acid, that's the main component in the oil, that has a particular weight to allow it to permeate the top layer of your skin. So now you have that anti-inflammatory action circulating and getting into the area of your liver. So you have pack doing the part where you're resting and digesting, and the oil is providing that anti-inflammatory. So it's basically supporting the regulatory systems of your body. And the great thing about it is it's liver detoxification, lymphatic drainage, and colon cleansing. And many of the question, or a common question that I do get is, well, we have all these organs and they do them themselves anyway. Why do we need to help them? Well, we have so much coming at us in today's modern world with EMFs, with the plastics that we might be eating, with just the garbage like that surrounds us that we could be breathing in. We are bombarded with so much that we need help, and it shows because look at the symptoms that we are experiencing and the illnesses that we're being diagnosed with. So why not help support the body? And that's the beautiful thing about castor oil and castor oil packs is it supports what the body should be doing, because if the liver is not detoxifying, that means the garbage isn't being put out into the lymph system. And if the lymph system isn't working, then you're going to be constipated. And then yada, 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 all like so many things fall into place after that. So it's all about supporting the body.
Absolutely. That's great information there. Can you speak a little bit on hormones? How does it help support women that may be going through, your premenopause or perimenopause and all that? Can it help with that?
Oh, yes, definitely. That's one of our, I guess, main recommendations is in hormone balance and women's health and leading into menopause, and postmenopause. Because it, especially in postmenopause, I think it's like one of the best things a woman who's in postmenopause can do, because prior to that, we actually have this natural detoxification aspect of a woman's body, which is getting our period, our menstrual cycle. And then when you're in post menopause, we don't get that anymore. So when we're again supporting all of the detoxifying and cleansing organs, then you're boosting that. So you're not suffering so badly with things like hot flashes and, all those other nasty postmenopausal issues that some women are experiencing. So yeah, it's also used in fertility. So we also have a pelvic pack, which is a bit larger than the liver pack that we use in cyclically, wearing the liver pack and wearing the pelvic pack. And we have some fantastic blogs on our website that show specific infographics on how to use them, when to use them, boosting fertility and regulating hormones.
That's very interesting. I was going to mention the pelvic pack. And now I think I had seen a live on Instagram. Somebody had mentioned if you own the liver pack, can you use that pack on your pelvic area?
So there is a little bit of unknowing as to how castor oil is metabolized when it's placed on the skin. So there's been one study that was done on the orally consuming castor oil versus the placing it topically. So, and we don't know, like the results were unknown. So we don't know if the oil is metabolized back through the skin or not. So if it does, then we don't want to bring back in what we're pulling out. So what we suggest and recommend is if you're going to use the liver for your liver pack, keep it there. If you want to only use it, say on your knee, let's say for knee pain, then just keep it there instead of like possibly bringing whatever is coming out of your skin from one area to the next. And the next question is, well, if it's pulling it out every time I place it back on, is it not doing the same thing? And that's why we suggest always applying a new tablespoon or two of fresh castor oil to the pack so that it's that barrier, and it's keeping the toxins where they need to be in the pack.
Right. How often does somebody need to apply the wrap? I mean, is this something we should do daily, nightly? Are we going to feel effects if we don't do it daily? How does that work?
Oh, that's a great question. So basically anybody who is just starting out this new practice and has never used castor oil packs before should just start once a day, 1 hour before bed for a few days. And then after that, then just try wearing it overnight for a few nights. And if everything seems to be, great, then they can wear it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if they so choose. And And the reason why I say just start out slow is like with any new practice, you don't know how your body is going to respond. So say if someone is possibly severely has a high has a lot of toxic mold, say, that they've been dealing with. So they might be super sensitive to cleansing. And if they put the pack on, say, right away overnight, and they're wearing it for 12 hours, they may get symptoms of like herxing symptoms, like a headache or fatigue or something like that. So we just want to try to avoid that. So just start slow and then progress your way up to overnight. And overnight is best because that is when the body is naturally detoxing, draining, and cleansing from the hours of 1 to, I think it's 7 in the morning, according to traditional Chinese medicine. So, and then days per week is you could do it every day, or you could do it 3 to 5 days a week, as much as you possibly can. The more, the better for your body. And if you're not, like, consistency is key. That's the golden ticket with any health practice, really. If you're not doing it as often as you should, you're not going to get the real true benefits from it.
Okay, that makes sense. When I was first wrapping, I just did it overnight and it didn't affect me anyways. So that's what I continued to do. I started doing it every other night, and then honestly, I just will do it all the time. It definitely helps me sleep better. I
Awesome.
have noticed a difference, in like my bowel movements and my abdominal pain. I'm not the best sleeper, so sometimes I'll wake up and the pack is just more centered sometimes or
Oh,
something.
I
I'm
have
like,
a trick for that.
oh, okay, do share. Let's hear it.
So I do see a lot of people on Instagram showing us their packs, and they're wearing the packs, and it's so cool. It's so amazing, and I am loving it. But they're not tying it right.
Okay.
So the ties, when you tie them, you actually tie them, cross them, and then you put them around the pack and then back towards to the body, where the point of the body is, where it's not on. So it's like a double tie, and then tie it. So
Yes.
it's like it's actually holding the top part and the bottom part on perfectly, and that
Okay.
seems to be keeping it in place for folks.
Okay, yeah, I was doing it around, but I haven't crossed it. So maybe I'll try that. That does make sense that it might, pull a little bit differently. So yeah,
Yes.
I will absolutely try that. Thank you for
Awesome.
that. Yes. Is all castor oil created equally? Say if I went to your local Target and I found a castor oil and it was in a glass jar or whatever, how does that differentiate between that and the Queen of the Thrones castor oil?
Right. Great question. So a lot of the castor oil on the market is not cold pressed or hexane free or extra virgin or even chemical free. Some of them will just say it's 100% pure, or I have seen some on the market that it's like a darker color, which means it was burned. So if it's not that clear, or almost like it has like a hint of yellowish to it, then it's been basically it's been burned in the process of however they're making it. So on our bottles, it actually states that it's 100% pure, cold pressed, hexane free, extra virgin, and it is food grade. So I, as a healthcare practitioner, with every single patient that I've ever seen, I develop health management plans for them, and we go over lifestyle and like what are in your cupboards and what are you putting on your body. And if I'm a firm believer of, if you can't put it on, if you wouldn't eat it, then you shouldn't put it on your skin. So ours is food grade, and I'm not saying consume it, because don't consume it. But it's just the best quality, unlike others.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. Now, when you just said don't consume it, do people, I don't even know, I mean, is castor oil used for, what else is castor oil used for?
Well, way back, it used to be used frequently in getting ladies to give birth after, going well past their due dates. So under the guidance of a healthcare practitioner, You can consume it for various reasons like severe constipation, or if you've gone past your due date, it can help. And other than that, I think that's pretty much all reasons why it would be prescribed that way. And other than that, topically, it can use for absolutely anything, with the exception of in pregnancy. So don't use castor oil because it can stimulate, right? So you don't want to stimulate and cause any contractions. You want to keep the baby, right? So that's the only time you don't want to use it.
Thank you for touching on that. That's definitely very important for those that
Yes.
Are with baby.
Yes, and I've had some people tell me like they've taken a sip of the castor oil and it works. It makes you
Really?
go. So don't do it unless
Wow.
you're under the strict guidance of your doctor.
Oh, wow. That I did not know. I wish I would have known that instead of getting Pitocin when I was induced with
Oh,
my firstborn. That would have been
oh yeah.
something a little more natural and beneficial to me. Here's another important one. How often do we need to replace our packs?
Ooh, that's a great question. So it depends on how often we're using it, and hopefully it's between, at least 4 or 5 times a week. So if you're doing that, then the pack will need to be replaced between 2 and 3 months, depending on how fully saturated it gets. So you can wash it. We just did a video actually and posted it on Queen of the Thrones, and you can put it in some hot water with some baking soda and just a touch of natural soap. Give it a good scrub, let it soak overnight, and then in the morning rinse it, squeeze it to dry, and lay it out flat on an old towel that you don't love to let it dry. And and then I did see some of the comments on that post saying, well, it didn't take all of the oil out, although it's better. Well, it won't. Saturating a cloth with any kind of oil is never going to be 100% free of the oil. It's just going to make it less oily, so it's not so saturated and messy. And then so it's made out of it will biodegrade. So that's why you will want to replace it in 2 to 3 months. Once it starts getting a little too messy and you can't really wash it anymore because it's too saturated, then it's time for a new one.
Yeah, because it gets just heavy and saturated. Yeah. Have you noticed, now I haven't really noticed with mine, I guess, after you use it, frequently, maybe after a month or so, month and a half, do some people when they're detoxing kind of rid their body of toxins, do you notice the pack turning a different color? Like, would it create like a brown color? Is there anything like alarming if somebody sees the pack turn, I don't know, like a crazy color? I don't know if that's a crazy question or.
No, I think that's a good question, but not one I've ever had before. And I've never seen discoloration of it due to any of that. And I've seen quite a few. And so if there is some sort of discoloration, I wouldn't really know why that would be. I don't know, maybe a reaction to something else you may have had on your skin. But if it's just the oil, our castor oil on your skin in the pack, it shouldn't discolorate at all. You will notice that as the pack gets a little more saturated, that the color of the pack darkens naturally anyways, but that's normal.
Okay. The reason I ask is just because how sometimes you see them like foot things or,
Yes.
when you put your feet in the, and everything turns colors and people are like, oh my God, look at all that stuff that just came out of my body, so if people are
that's the first thing I thought of when you said that.
right. So it happens and it's stuff that I've tried, but I don't know it to be true. Like I don't
Right.
stuff like that. I didn't feel any benefits to, I suppose. You put your feet on salt blocks, or if you do put them detoxing pads on the arch of your foot at night, or what do they say? Put onions on you.
Oh yes.
Is it onions on the bottom?
Onions, if you think you're catching a cold as well, it's supposed to help draw it out.
And the demons when you sleep, because you're not gonna nobody will want to be near you with onions on your feet.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right. Sleep alone. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so tell me, so the Queen of the Thrones now offers the eye masks, the liver packs, the pelvic packs. Is there anything else that I am missing?
Yes, we also have a thyroid pack, which is great
Oh,
for anybody who has or does not have thyroid issues. It's great because it's nourishing. It draws attention to the area so it can nourish. It's anti-inflammatory again. And we also have a lymph brush and a body massage roller, which is, oh my goodness, so amazing because I don't know about you, but for me, it's like, when like, ow, my shoulder hurts, or can somebody, anybody, and I
right.
just rub my shoulder and like
Yes,
there's
I
nobody
know.
there. Yes,
Right.
it's not the same. So with ours, you just put it on your hand and these beautiful rollers, and it actually feels like someone else is doing it and you're just doing it yourself, and it moves the lymph, and it's amazing. That's I think my favorite tool.
Okay. And now that you mentioned the thyroid pack, I do remember seeing, talk about the children, like there's a child's pack, right? And then
Yes.
how can it help your child?
Oh, the children's pack is so amazing. It's the same as the liver pack. It's just petite sized for the smaller bodies. And the fantastic thing about that is the main, I think, complaint that moms and dads have about having children is like nighttime. Like they won't go to sleep. They're tired.
Mhm.
Look at them, they're exhausted, yet all the bells and whistles
Right.
are ringing. And it's just, so the moment you put a castor oil pack on them, it's like, ooh, it brings them right down, because it's bringing them into that parasympathetic state of rest and digest, and they don't even know it. And
Oh,
it calms them down. So I wouldn't suggest or recommend children sleeping with the pack on under a certain age, just because the ties could be a choking hazard. But if
okay.
you could implement it into your nighttime routine, maybe with a light snack or their bedtime story, and they've been wearing it for 1 hour before bed, you will see some great results, like in constipation, in their behavior. They sometimes they really want to wear it. They look forward to wearing it, and it's just an overall better health in the child.
That's very interesting. I need to do that for my son.
How old is your
And I
son?
like my son, he's 12 now, but he'll fall asleep super quick, but he has a hard time winding down when he wants to. He's a very restless sleeper some nights. I'll go to make his bed and his blanket is off. Like he was wrestling with a dinosaur at night or something. I'm like,
Wow.
how did you sleep? I mean, there are times he used to sleep with his head on the mattress and his feet on the floor. I don't know how that child, yes. I don't know how he sleeps and he doesn't remember. So
Well, throw us a castor oil pack on them and
I
should
am
calm them down, and hopefully the sleep as well.
I am going to try that on him. I need to order the eye mask. I'm definitely interested with the thyroid. I know that my mom struggles with her thyroid. She's on medication, and I wonder if something like that might help assist her with thyroid. Maybe I'll buy her some goodies, for the next special occasion.
Lucky her.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Dry brushing can assist with the liver packs and the castor oil. And you guys now offer a dry brush on your site, right?
Do, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So is dry brushing, would you do that before you put on the liver pack? Is that something you should do in the morning before you shower? What's the best time to do that?
So the best time is usually in the morning. But again, the best time is when it's most convenient for the person. So if it's anywhere before 2 o'clock, because it is, or maybe 4 o'clock, I would say, it is a stimulating exercise, right? So you don't want to do something like that before bed, because, well, you don't want to get stimulated before bed. You want the opposite to occur. So the best time is to, in the morning, take your eye compress off and dry brush. You can do it before you get in the shower, during the shower, or after. The best time is before, though. And a lot of first timers do find that because they just don't know the pressure, the dry brush is dry, and it might be a little uncomfortable at first. You can add a little bit of castor oil on it just to help with softening it a little bit until your body gets used to that practice. And so yeah, it's in the morning, and then in the evening, it's the castor oil liver pack with your eye compress, and then so that's, I think our sleep begins in the morning. Because when we are starting ourselves off with that great lymph draining and stimulating and that cortisol in the morning, and then that leads us down that path to the end of our day when we want to relax, digest, and support that melatonin and sleep well.
Good to know. I know it's hard when people can't see you, or you can check out the video on YouTube after the show releases, but can you kind of walk through the routine of how do you start? I know you have to start right with your feet and work your way up, right?
Yes, that's right. In a circular motion. Yes, there is a YouTube video that does show it now. So you start from the bottom and you want to work your way up and inwards, all towards the heart. And it's all about that light circular motion all towards your heart. So up the legs, and then you start from your hands and you work yourself towards your torso. And then when you've done all your limbs, then you can start from your chest, moving it circularly towards your heart, which is best.
Okay. I think that was my biggest question when I'm like, dry brushing, what's this? Well, how do you do it? Where do you start? How do you, there's so much out there that you do want to make sure that you're getting the correct information and that you're doing it right to obviously receive the most benefits to doing the practice that you want to, hopefully help you.
Yes, definitely.
So that's great. So if you guys aren't following Queen of the Thrones yet, make sure you're following them on Instagram. They do awesome videos all day long. And I've been getting a lot of helpful videos and information.
I think that the biggest thing that's going around right now is the beet juice cleanse. And it's such a simple recipe. And the great thing about it is that when you peel beets, then you have all these peelings left over, and it's like, oh, it's such a waste. We have a video on Instagram teaching people how to actually make like blush with the shavings, which is so great. But yeah, the beet juice recipe is fantastic for helping with detoxing and cleansing the liver, and it actually tastes good. I think that's so rare these days. It's like, okay, I know it's good for me. I'll just plug my nose and chug it back. But no, this one, it's a great recipe. And again, that one is on our blog, and of course, as you said, on Instagram. And then another interesting place to go is Cell Health Well, which is on Instagram as well. And that's where our founder, Dr. Marisol, posts all sorts of amazing tips on how to use the castor oil as well. She did a facial a couple of days ago with the castor oil and green tea, or is it matcha? It was one of the two. Oh. And she's busting myths out there, and just like, it's so great. So yeah, great place to go for even more information.
Okay, awesome. I'll make sure I put all that information in the show notes. Awesome. So yeah, I want to be mindful of your time. I'm so thankful that you came on here to talk about all this. And I definitely think that it is something that can absolutely help anybody who is out there, struggling with inflammation in their body or autoimmune diseases. I think we all know that inflammation is the biggest problem when it comes to all those chronic conditions, and trying to keep our inflammation at bay as best we can on a daily basis, I think is really, really important. And this is something that is simple. It's easy. You can do it. Anybody can do it. And now there's so many options available out there between the belly pack and the liver pack and the thyroid, and even helping your children now and the eye mask. So it's out there, just give it a try. I became a lover pretty quickly, and now I'm an affiliate. So I am glad that I can now help others. So hopefully we can, get everybody feeling the best that they can. All right. Tell the audience how they can connect with you to get more information about the castor oil packs.
Yes, of course. So again, Instagram is probably the best way because our entire team is there. So we're answering questions, we're answering comments, we're on the DMs. And then we also have Facebook, which Queen of the Thrones as well. And again, answering all the questions and posting there. We also have TikTok. It's not as I guess busy as Instagram is yet, but we are there. And then we have our YouTube channel. And then of course we have our email. So anybody who wants to ask any questions whatsoever about any of the products or the protocols or concerns, then we are there to answer questions, help teach, help doctors, help influencers, and just get that message out there.
Fantastic. Do you have a personal Instagram out there that you manage at all?
I do. Yeah, it's healing with Sherri. I think it's healing with .Sherri. But yeah, that's me.
Okay.
It's
I'll
an
put
Instagram platform that I actually own a vegan health cafe, and
Oh,
I serve the community with good, healthy, nutritious meals. So that's where I post my
awesome.
pictures.
Awesome. I will be following you on your personal one because I am in a vegan diet right now, hoping to cleanse my body and get rid of my Epstein-Barr virus. And I can say that I'm hungry, but I'm doing okay. But definitely always looking for more options out there.
Ah,
So
yes, yes. See, knowing that will get us places.
yeah. And that's what's so great about social media now is that we can connect virtually and find so much information is out there. You just got to make sure you know who you're following, and that they know what they're talking about and not just getting their
Yes,
information off of Google, right? So
exactly. Yes.
know who you're following. But and thank you so much for all of your information and all of your time and knowledge and expertise. And for anybody who wants to order any of these products, they can go to queenofthethrones.com, right? Is
Yeah.
that the website?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if they order, you can get 10% off of your products. Just put in the code 123 Mom Squad. And I'm going to be ordering some more products shortly as well. So
Amazing. Yes, that's the best part. They put in your code. They reap the benefits. Just, yeah, see, you're amazing. I'm so happy I could be here. So thank you very much for
yeah.
having me as well.
Oh, you're welcome, Sherri, anytime. And thanks again. And we will talk soon.